Now, what we have coming up here, I totally understand this and it makes sense. With the Ten of Swords coming up, you've got fears and doubts. These are the I can'ts. I can'ts. You know, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, they might not take me, that I might get rejected, you know, whatever. The head's gonna, this is Carrie's mum, right? Is gonna say whatever it needs to say to you to try to keep you safe. That's the whole purpose of the Eight of Swords. It's that little voice in our heads that's telling us why we can't do something, why we're stuck. Now have a look at her. She's not really bound to anything though. She's still in a puddle. There's always water in the Eight of Swords because it's trusting our emotions, trusting our heart, that why we want this, why we love this. You know, that's what wants us to go for it. And the head's trying to keep us safe. So she could walk out of there, but she's not, because she doesn't want to get hurt. That's the whole point of it. I don't want to get hurt. Why is that? Now, you've actually got really good reason for this to come up because of the Ten of Swords. You're either going, it's not, I mean, I'd need the Wheel of Fortune, the Six of Cups, or Judgment to say you're going back into an old situation. But I'm still getting that kind of a vibration. It's like you're trying something again, or you're going back into it again, or you're going to give it a second chance. Whatever it may be. Even if it's a new job, new relationship, whatever. But it's reminding you there's something coming up from the past. This is the scene of the crime. The scene of the crime. And if you have a look at her, she's on her phone. She's fine. Everything's fine here. But we remember how we were betrayed or deceived or ended up with 10 swords in us from when we tried this or something similar to this in the past. I kind of feel like it's something that you've given it a good go. Now, the reason I say that is we have the Eight of Wands coming up as a past or foundation. I'm actually going to come back to that in just a moment. But with the Eight of Wands coming up as a past energy, this might be there's opportunities that have been coming in, or conversations that you've had, or there's something, you know, there's something around energy, movement. This can be very overwhelming energy, the Eight of Wands. It's very interesting to me that I think Sagittarius got the King of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. Now, that was yesterday, and I've used this deck for readings in between, so I know that if that's coming up, that's a theme. We've got a theme coming up here. And it feels like you've given it a good go, or you've been considering opportunities, or something's coming, some communications coming, or you've sent, well, usually it's two ways with this one, right? And it's about moving forward on your path, on your journey. That's why you see that motorbike there and the person rushing, going forward. But what is it about that? What is it about what you've learned, the research that you've done, or maybe your presence on social media? Like, it's going to be different for everyone, right? Whatever happened with these opportunities or whatever, either this, you know, something moved too fast and you ended up like this, because this has happened. The Ten of Swords has happened. It's not happening right now. It's the writings on the wall. You know how it turned out. Yes, it might have left you at rock bottom, but there's no surprises with the Ten of Swords. You've dealt with it, and you're there with it, and that's overkill. It's always overkill. So that's why it feels so devastating. And that's why it would be a fear. We don't want to experience this again. But the truth is, you wouldn't experience it again. Because if you've gone through it once, you've learned your lessons from it, you're not going to do it again. So for some of you, this, whatever this communication is, research, whatever you found out here, or, you know, looked into, it's reminding you of this. And I kind of feel like it's a big opportunity, and you know that. There's something big that you're either going forward to do. No, you are. It's something big. You got 3 10s, and let's have a look. Which 10 is missing? The 10 of Wands is missing. Now, when one is missing, it stands out. I mean, that, because of its lack of presence, is important. So we've got this 10 of Swords. That's the scene of the crime, remembering the past. This is what happened last time. So now I'm afraid. I'm telling myself I can't because of what happened in the past. But there is an opportunity here. You got 2 more 10s that come up. So 10s are the outcomes. I see 9s as the completions of cycles, and 10s are when we see the full outcome of that. You know, that's the potential of that suit realized, for better or for worse. Words can hurt, you know, our own ideas can take us down. Trust me, that's something I'm very aware of at this time in my life, that, you know, even though it's our own truth, and we do find a truth out of this, because the 10 of Swords leads to the Ace of Swords, which there's a new truth. And that might be where you are right now, is in you're considering all of this, and out of that will come a hard-won truth, the Ace of Swords. It's implied that it would come out of the 10, because the 10 takes us back to the Ace, right? So there's a new truth that comes out of this. But those cycles are complete, and this is about moving forward with a new opportunity. A new opportunity. Now, it's something that these two coming up, and everyone seems to be getting this, and I get it. It's almost like this is where we're ready to sign on the dotted line. That's a lot of us are going through this. Sagittarius kind of got the same energy, and if Sagittarius is ready to commit, then bloody hell, you know, they're one of the non-committal ones. They're the Knight of Wands, right? Like to rush around. But you're Capricorn, your Earth energy. This is kind of very much your kind of style, but even you're reluctant. You're thinking, well, hang on a second. Is this what I'm committed to? Is this my long-term security and stability? And it might be that, you know, this means that you committed to something before, a person, a relationship, a way of life, a way of making money, a home, a business, an office, whatever it was, right? With that 10 of Pentacles, it's our physical reality, that you had set that as your long-term goal. For some of you, that's going to be the case. It kind of feels, so there's a number of stories that come in around this. Let me try to, and it's been like that. It's been like this general. That's one of the reasons I was kind of reluctant. I wanted to do the monthlies because I'm inquisitive and I like looking at the energies, but I also wasn't, because I know that the messages have been coming through like this, like loads of stuff coming through. But I'm here and I'm going to share all of them with you. So let's start off with the first one. The first one is some of you were committed to something, hasn't turned out the way you want it to. There's new opportunities that you see now, and that's the purpose of this, ditching this to go for a new dream. Some of you. Others of you, you've hit a rough patch, and it's almost like what you wanted out of this is almost within grasp, like you can reach it and stuff. But you know that to go that extra distance to make this happen, to turn it into that happily ever after that you want it to, you know, it's going to call for to pull out some fight or some commitment or something out of this comes out of this. And you're afraid of that. That's where the fears are coming up, because you're like, I don't know if I've got it in me to do this. But it's very big. It is big energy. When you get 3 10s like that, it's big. Let's get a clarified for that 10 of Pentacles. The Tower here as the freedom for you to now go towards what it is that you wish. And the Tower frees us from the devil, which is your energy. This is the birth of the new Capricorn. That's how I see this. Birth of the new Capricorn. I mean, there's your ruler, Saturn, with the world coming up. And that's Mars energy. So maybe as a timing thing, I don't know, when Mars enters Capricorn, that kind of energy. If you want to use it as a time, as sometimes it comes up like that, sometimes it doesn't. But the whole point of this is you're free. You're now free to go plan for the future, to go work towards, you know, this could be compromise. This could be working with other people. This is mind, body, and spirit. Remember I said this one looks good on paper. This one looks good for the heart. Maybe it's a way to bring everything together. You know, if we have an either or situation, we're thinking, well, do I go for that? Or do I go for that? Is there a third option that combines both of them? But those of you that have felt stuck, and I want to say this, and I mean this with love, and, you know, it kind of feels like if you've been stuck, this is what's been keeping you stuck. And that's big. I'm not saying, you know, this is 24/7 in our heads. Then that's the story that's been going on and on. That's what we believe, right? Because it's there all the time. But there is a move, or there is a shift, or there is an upping your game around something that you have not felt like you could do, even though the opportunity's been there for a while. And with that Tower coming up, I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's not, I know people don't like the Tower. I love the Tower. It's my favorite tarot card. A lot of you know that. But think of this. There are 5 big cards of change in the Tower that I see. The big 5. Judgment, Death, Wheel of Fortune, the Tower, and the World. You have 2 of them that came out together. And why do they come up together? Why is there this massive shift? I think it's the physical ending of something that you have known has been ended for a while. That job, that, you know, it could be you handing in your notice. It could be that you declare this is done now. That's not my dream anymore. I'm saying this is a new dream. And you bring something down with that, with the Tower coming up. But with the 3 of Pentacles, you're facing forward. You're facing towards the future. You're planning for the future. You're thinking, well, it doesn't matter. Let that go. Let that, whatever. I've got a new dream. And with the 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups, you absolutely, even if you don't know it now, when you're watching this at the beginning of the month, it's there for the taking. It's there for the understanding of it. It's there for the commitment of it. Now, going forward, though, we have the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords. And this indicates the pause. You know that Four of Wands? Fours are always a pause where we look at our foundation. And I kind of feel with the 5 coming up there, you may be over preparing. Let me just put it that way. I get that sense from this, especially with the 3 of Pentacles. It's great to have a new dream. It's great to understand, right, let's scrap the way we were doing it. We're going to do this in a different way, or we need to up our game or get more people in on this, or it can't just be all of me. I'll talk to, family members or friends or lovers or whatever to try to figure out how we're going to do this. But you're already anticipating a fight. And if you're one of those Capricorns that's had a reading with me, I've talked to a lot of you. And a lot of you own this. And I love it. That's what I love about Capricorns. They can be so straight talking and just owning their shit. Especially the ones that I've spoken to. And when they don't know what to do sometimes. Or you guys don't really like, I don't know. Because you can't see the opportunity or you can't see whatever it is. And I say, because you're looking for a mountain. That's the thing with the goat, right? The goat then starts seeing everything as a mountain because everything has been a mountain for so long. There's that mountain in the past. And I'm like, well, what if there's no mountain? What if it's easier than that? What if it's just, you're seeing the opportunity or what you would achieve as a mountain, but there's no mountain. You can just walk straight to it. It's flat surface for you to go. And I know that's a novel concept for Capricorn, especially after everything that you've been through. I get it, a lot of intense energies in your sign, but there's something different about that because that 5 of Swords, whenever I get cards like this in the future, we're anticipating that. We're projecting that forward. And the 5 of Swords, it's where we're scared to be seen as selfish or ruthless or, people might be jealous of us. There's that kind of thing. But that too is a projection. I very rarely delete people's comments or block people from my channel. I just let it be. I always think it's a nice statement. Whatever anyone writes, even if they say it about me, they're talking about themselves. But there was one that I did that I blocked, and it was because they were very rude and kind of racist as well, which I don't allow anything like that on my channel. But it was around jealous people, around people that were jealous, right? And so what if they're jealous? That's a nice statement. You know why you've done this. I mean, you've gone through too much. Not to know what your reasons are behind this. I mean, please trust that. You got the King of Pentacles there, not the Page, not the Knight, not even the Queen. You got the King of Pentacles as your advice. And this guy has done the numbers, looked at it any way that he can, looked at what the value of it is. And I know the value of it has shifted, like before it was, what looks good on paper, to now what feels good to me in my heart. I know that's changed. And when we go through a massive transformational change like that, the world will look at us. It happens to me all the time. Whenever I change up anything, I either get told it's ego or low vibration, or people just whine at me that, why have you changed stuff? I liked it better how it was before. What can I do? I'm growing, I'm expanding, I'm going with the energies, and that's kind of what's coming up for you guys. Look, this is a projection. Trust me, it is not as bad as it seems. You've heard me say that before. When you get the 5 of Swords in the future, you get the 9 of Swords in the future, because think the future's not written yet. And why would it predict, oh, you're going to be stressed out? Because that's a projection. That's a projection. That's why you're kind of stopped here and saying, yeah, well, should I just stay with that? Because to change course, remember I said to you, it's going to require more action now. It's going to require a bigger commitment from you. But the Emperor very much assures you that you have that power within you to do that. To stand in your power, to say, we're not doing it like that. And when you get 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Cups, that can be family. That can be the family. And whether that's blood family or the family that we choose with friends and those kind of relationships. But trust me, Cap, if you're going to be doing more, which you will, then you should get the title for it or the recognition for it or be able to do this. You stand in your own power. The the Nine of Swords is worrying about what will happen. Like you see stress and fights and, you know, oh, people aren't going to like it if I do that. What are they going to think of me? And it's like, who gives a shit? The Emperor doesn't care. He can't do things by committee. He has to stand in his own power. Or the empire falls. Can you imagine? Someone's trying to attack the empire. They're at the borders. They're trying to get in. They're trying to invade the empire. And the emperor's like, oh no, people might not like me if I go and send the troops there. So let me quickly, we'll hold a vote next week and we'll see what everyone thinks. You won't have an empire if you do that by the end of next week. You'll be invaded. You'll be taken over. The empire will be ransacked and done. And it's knowing when to do that. And the other reassurance here is that this stuff's been ended for a while. It's time to, you know, cut the cord or cut the apron strings or whatever it is, whatever this comes up around you for. Because a lot of the only thing that seems to be stopping you here with the 8 of Swords, 10 of Swords, 9 of Swords is you're worried. You're worried. And I understand that. 10 of Swords is you're worried about what happened in the past. 9 of Swords is worried about what's happening in the future. 8 of Swords is telling you in the moment, because you're in that vice of that happened in the past, this might happen in the future. Well, I can't do anything right now. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And how do you do that? The King of Pentacles is that. The King of Pentacles says, hey, he is successful. He's a self-made man. This is off your own back. Like, this feels like the 9 of Pentacles on steroids, this reading. And I kind of feel that you're probably there. You're probably at that 9 of Pentacles if that 10's coming up at the heart of everything. What do I mean by that? The 9 of Pentacles, that implied energy of it is, I've built this safe space. I've built this sanctuary. Now it's time for me to expand that, to go bigger, right? And how do we do that with the King of Pentacles? It's knowing that I did this. I built this. Good, bad, or ugly, whatever it is. I created this and it's time for me to expand it. And you're worried and you're frightened, and I get that. But trust me, it's the vice of the past. It's that vice. You're in that grip of the vice of the past and the future. What will happen? Well, the present is the point of power. And in the present, you're being told, eyes on the prize. How does this feel? How does that feel? Like, get so deep in the feeling of how that feels, what that happily ever after feels like. Recognize, you know, yes, shit went down in the past, but look how you built yourself up from it. Look how you rebuilt a foundation from that. You learned. I mean, that's Saturnian lessons. You've gained everything that you need to out of that. It's time to bring the house down, like, you know, like end that shit, whatever was keeping you trapped, because you're ready to expand. There's a big thing of expansion here. It's more. I don't feel like it's less. I don't feel like it's endings, even with those 10s coming up. It's more. It's doing more. It's being more. It's having more. It's committing more. I do that as the Emperor and the King of Pentacles. And so that's the King of... If he sees value in it, he's going to make it work. And it's something... It's decision time. Let's put it that way. And I know we don't have the 2 of Wands. We don't have whatever. Because it's big. It's almost like... It's not announcing a decision, maybe. But it's more like acting from that decision. Because with the 8 of Wands here, this is talk, right? This is talking the talk. Well, this is walking the walk, King of Pentacles. Well, that's building the build, right? Whatever it is. Because he builds stuff. He makes stuff. He creates stuff. So I don't really need to do it in an outro. But I just want to say I love you guys very much. Whatever you get up to in December... I trust, and I hope that you will trust that you will get everything that you need, no matter what it is that you want. I will see you next time. That's all for now. Goodbye.